Hello everybody and happy new year. In 2024 we spent about 8 months building this 1,000 horsepower 6-speed Hellcat charger. In this video it's going to show you guys how to do it in 30 minutes. It took us an extremely long time figuring out all the bugs and programming and stuff that needed to be done, but that's why I filmed the process so you guys can learn everything in a very short amount of time and not go through all the hurdles and stuff that we did. Let's get right to the video. So last drive, huh? That's crazy. Finally starting the 6-speed swap. I've always wanted a 6-speed in here and we're finally doing it after this long. We're about to get this thing swapped over, and then once we're done we're gonna have to do a fat burnout leaving the shops. On the lift, got the exhaust off. There we go. Drive shaft out. Last 2 bolts and then this thing is out of here. She's out of there. That automatic 8 HP is out. So quick side-by-side comparison with the bell housing. I think the TR6060 is just a little longer. They're really similar. And here is the engine harness, and it actually has a new starter in it, but it's a little rusty, so I think we're gonna keep mine on there. But here is the engine harness. The only difference I can see in the charger's harness is this giant prong plug that went into the automatic transmission.
No, that doesn't have it on this.
But so far the only difference that I see in the wiring harness is this plug that goes to the trans. Pretty simple. We're looking at these lines too, right? These lines went to the automatic trans because it has a transmission cooler. This transmission does not. Did a little bit of research. The manual Challengers do not have return lines, so we're gonna have to delete these. So that's the last damn plug, and then we're pulling out the entire engine harness. Finally, pain in the ass. We're trying to get this engine harness out. The last plug, I think it's the engine temperature sensor. This green plug right here is in between the alternator and what is that down there, the water pump? Finally got this damn plug out. Pain in the ass. Now we're about to pull the entire engine harness out. Finally. It's been probably 3 hours alone on this harness. Now we got to put the Challenger one in, but hopefully it'll be a little smoother going in. Pause. Finally got the engine harness in this damn car. It's been a long 5 hours.
Fuck yeah.
It's been a long ass time. So right here it looks like there's been a rat or some shit that chewed through the wire. So right there, right here.
You got it?
We're gonna have to fix a couple of those injector harness wires. In last episode, I thought we were just gonna slap the clutch and the transmission in. We are very far from that. I made an official checklist of everything that we need to do on this car for it to be finished. This isn't in order, but let's just start from here. So we gotta change the diff and axles, change the diff fluid. We gotta do an oil change. We gotta change both belts, so serpentine belt and supercharger belt. We gotta change the brake booster master cylinder for the manual style one, do the brake fluid in that, clutch line from the master cylinder to the actual clutch, plug the radiator from the old automatic transmission lines, fix the wires that were chewed. So we're gonna solder the wires and make it as professional as possible. We got to do the fuel line that kind of disintegrated because I'm running E85. It was a rubber hose. We got to fix that. I'm gonna have to get the drive shaft made because the drive shaft is 3 or 4 inches longer than the automatic one. Fill the transmission full of fluid. Finish plugging in the rest of the harness. We got to do the supercharger snout bushings and then get to the clutch, installing the trans, pilot bearing, put the alternator back on, install the pedals, take out the center console and cut the transmission tunnel for the shifter, and then tune an alignment. And like I said, that's not necessarily in order, but that's everything that we need to do. We're just going to do a quick mock-up. We're going to throw the bell housing on the back of the motor and then put the trans up right behind it so we can get an idea of where we will have to cut the transmission tunnel for the shifter. I hope so. Okay, now we have a general sense of where we're gonna need to cut the hole. So now we have the hole marked, figure out how to get this damn center console out. We're just pop these off, huh? Yeah, like so. It's not too terrible. I thought it was gonna be a pain in the ass to get this out. Center console is out. Damn, shifting gears already? Ski, skirt, ski, 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 ski. Woo! 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 Clean hole. Pause. No diddy. Danny got this thing looking beautiful. So this is just a little template right here, but got the rubber piece in, got the transmission tunnel cut. As you can see, there's a damn hole in the drift cat, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna have to cut pretty much this square out to be able to fit the shifter in there. Smart man. Mark that little section. Side note, just fucking blew my knee apart. Drop the car back down, pull the center console out, flip it over, and then we'll be able to see that paint mark and then cut it out specific, make it perfect. It's in a very particular spot. As you can see, the edge goes like right over here. I have to chop a little bit more, but almost there. There's one issue that we ran into. So obviously when there's not a shifter right here that's gonna stick up, there was an AC line that goes from back here all the way to the rear vents on the back of the column, and this is what it looks like. And this is obviously not going to go under the center console anymore. Put on the pilot bearing, and then we started to mount the flywheel, but we realized because it was an automatic and it had a pressure plate in here, the longer ones for the flywheel. As you can see, it's a lot thinner than this damn flywheel is. So overnighted some ARP ones. They should be coming tonight. Clutch and transmission will go in tomorrow as soon as we get those ARP bolts. But today, let's work on the diff. Off with taking this Durs diff brace off. You can tell how broken this axle is. See how this one's up there strong? There goes the passenger axle. Drop one side, drop the other side, and then the diff is completely out now. This over here is the manual one. Don't mind the spider nest and stuff, but 2 clean axles, and then that 370 LSD. Throwing that dirt on the 370 diff. So new diff is in. That's good. Every time I've changed my diff fluid, it's like completely burnt black color. This actually still has some gold to it. This has a nice gold color. And then we're gonna put the OEM Mopar fluid in it, top it off with this. You need this in there to really lock up that LSD. Those are the pressure plate ones. Those are the brand new ARP ones. If you guys ever have to go through this situation, that is the part number right there, 1472801. Some expensive bolts, not gonna lie. ARPs, they're not gonna break or anything like that. So we're gonna get the clutch in today. You ready, my guy?
I'm ready, let's do it.
Let's do it. I'm gonna put say Hellcat on it.
Wow.
So throw that on and then throw the flywheel on. Clutch, bell housing. That just makes everything a lot safer in case it goes, you know, it'll hit this. This is what was there before. So this, compared to this, a lot safer. Got the clutch on, tightening the last bolts. You gotta torque them to 25 foot-pounds. Good triple disc with aluminum flywheel. Bell housing going on right now, and that's the quick time steel bell housing. Hellcats come with aluminum bell housings, which if that clutch were to ever go, it would go through the bottom of the floor, and I sit right there. Got an SFI approved bell housing, and this is a SFI approved clutch as well. It'll save my ass if anything goes wrong. And she is in. Not bolted up, but quick test mock-up. mock up the transmission, realized that the cross member was probably inch and a half away from being bolted in, and that's because the top of the transmission was hitting transmission tunnel. So what we're thinking of doing is just cutting a bigger section out, how they did from factory, the manual transmission tunnel from a Challenger, but this plate comes on top. Theoretically, if the transmission tunnels are the same size, we can cut a hole the same size as this, make this little indentation into the automatic one, and then we can just bolt this plate on top. That's the plan anyway. So we're gonna have to cut a big chunk out right here. Big chunk, but makes me feel better that there's a small lip here already. That little hole that we already cut, I was like, cutting into a Hellcat, but now we're gonna cut a hole 3 times the size. So the bottom of the dash is out, so that gives a lot more room. You can still see that plug and stuff that's in the way. So as you can see, the previous hole needs to go all the way up and behind the dash. That little computer's out, so there's a lot more room to play with under there. That's a huge hole. Hi. Damn. All right, so as you can see, new hole and the transmission tunnel was cut, and that bracket will fit right on top. That's a big hole, so there's a lot more room than there was. I'm pretty sure that that's going to be plenty to go, but we just won't know until we put the trans back in there, really. We got the cross member in there and got the trans perfectly aligned, just enough room up top. Fits perfectly. Since we got the transmission bolted in, one thing I could do is measure how long we need the damn drive shaft. 66 and a quarter, 64 and a quarter. This is about 67 and a half. This got to be chopped quite a bit, because this is the stock Charger one-piece aluminum thing. This got to get cut a little over 3 inches. So now we're in the interior of the car. Got the shifter fake mounted up inside relatively where it's gonna sit, which is kind of perfect. We're gonna try to close this gap, and on this side of the transmission tunnel, it looks like we might need to trim it just a bit. There's a bunch of room on this side, but this side is cutting it close. We're about to start welding and patching and fabricating. She's out. Fifth time? Transmission's back out for the 5th time. So we're trying to put this short shifter together. I have no idea what I'm doing. So we're going down to bare metal, so that way it can be a clean weld. Okay. Some sealer?
Yeah.
And then you got some primer. Start sealing her up. Sheesh. Got that seam sealed. It's pretty much ready to go. We could damn near bolt trans right in. It fits, but the top of the trans hits right here on the little piece that we didn't shape. So hit her with a hammer. Finally got the transmission tunnel maneuvered, or massaged, if you will, how it's supposed to be. So there's probably 1/4 inch, if that, of room between the top of the transmission and the top of the tunnel. This is the last time the transmission will be going in and out of the car. I am extremely happy. Let's see if we can go through first, second gears or whatever. No clutch pedal in yet, but that's besides the point. First. Woo!
Man.
Crispy. Small shifts too. This short shifter's insane. I can't wait. Oh my god, this is gonna be fun. Let's take a look at our checklist because we haven't looked at this in a while. We still need to do brake booster, master cylinder, which we're doing today. We need to wire the clutch pedal, brake fluid. Obviously, after we get the brake booster, master cylinder, we're gonna need to refill it with fluid. The clutch line, fill the transmission with fluid. Supercharger snout bushings, which are in this box right here. And that's kind of like the last step. Put the pedals in, which we're gonna do today. Tune, alignment, which obviously will come before the tune. That's pretty much all we need to do. I also need to get the drive shaft cut. New brake booster in there. New pedals are in there. Sheesh. Check this out. This is gonna look so clean.
Oh shit.
It's never been changed. It is just straight tires. That's what the constant air freshener in the Hellcat is. Little bit of a difference. Going in. Nice. Oh yeah. Don't even pay attention to me. Remember, it doesn't go down all the way because of the pad.
That's fine. Ooh, a lot of bubbles are coming out.
We will have to trim this pad underneath. We'll have to pull the carpet so the clutch can fully engage all the way. Pedal goes all the way down, engages. This little hump is gone. Long story short, one wire needs to go from ECM to the RF hub to the clutch switch to the ECM, and then ground the third pin to the clutch. And since we're gonna need to run wires from the front of the car to the back of the car, figure out where we want to route it, and I think we've decided on the edge of the carpet. The wires, make them go right underneath where the existing wiring harness is, so it'll be like factory. So for everyone wondering why we didn't swap the body harness over and go full Challenger body harness, because we would have had to install this entire, fill this damn trans up with some fluid. This is wild. All right, so we're full. The engine bay is back together. As you can see, windshield wipers, cowl is back on. You replaced that fuel line, I'm guessing. Show you this beautiful 4-inch aluminum custom drive shaft. 4-inch aluminum with the yoke style ends. It's light too, hella light. Came with all new hardware. Damn, perfect. Perfect, just like that. Drive shaft is in. Getting down to the exhaust tips now. Got the entire exhaust on, and just like that, the new tips are on and they look beautiful. Woo. Outside. This thing's about to get loaded on the trailer. Master Tech from Dodge came out.
It's kind of complicated. 2 modules that don't exist anymore. We're trying this for the very first time. Everybody might be like, why is it so complicated? We're trying to use a charger, VIN, charger, PCM. Cross our fingers that it all works. It's never been done. This is a new experiment.
One of one, first in the world.
Got 3 modules, RFH, your BCM, and your PCM. They all have to have the exact same VIN. So the BCM, which is this, right, it's pretty dumb. It doesn't really know what it's doing. Yeah. So it reads the VIN number off the PCM. The PCM tells it what it is. Is it a manual? Is it an automatic? Everything. Yeah. And this reads off of it, so it shares the same pin code. Since it shares the same pin code, the BCM asks the PCM, what's your secret code? It tells it, okay, my secret code is this code, this is your secret code, and then the RFH is where your RKE or your remote reads it. So they all have to have the exact same pin, the VIN number to have the same pin code in order for it to start. So basically, the PCM is asking the transmission what gear you're in. The transmission asks the electronic shift module, are you in park? Once you get it in park, the TCM receives the signal, sends it back to the PCM, says start the vehicle. We don't have that.
He brought a brand new manual Challenger BCM and RFH, so that way when we plug them in, they don't have a VIN number on them already, and we can program them to this vehicle, and hopefully we'll get that clutch signal. And then got a new red key for when we reprogram the modules, because my key won't work anymore.
Challenger's a 2-door, Charger's a 4-door.
Basically no TC, it's not looking for a TCM.
Yeah, this one's not looking for a TCM. This one's not looking for 2 rear doors, 2 window motors, 2 door lock actuators. So it's still dumb. This one's still dumb. It just doesn't know what you're gonna program it to. And it gets programmed to it. It reads off the PCM VIN. So whatever VIN it reads off of, right? It says, okay, this is what I'm supposed to be. Is this what I'm supposed to be? Of course, then you write the VIN on this, whatever VIN it's going to read off the PCM, right? So then once it reads off of that, then we have to go back to our radio frequency that's behind the glass. Charger BCM, it's still good, nothing wrong with it. It's just not now, it's not an auto. It's going to be stick shift. So this hub sits right behind the back seats underneath that.
What we're gonna do is plug in the RF hub and the BCM, program them to my VIN. We're figuring it out.
Radio frequency, you see this little pinkish?
Yeah.
This is for your remote start. The Challenger doesn't have it.
And that's because they don't want you starting it in gear.
In gear, exactly. Just safety features. What we're trying to do and why it's so complicated is we're trying to use a charger, VIN, charger PCM. We want that PCM to tell the BCM and RFH, the dumb modules, that now you're a manual transmission. Hasn't been done yet. We're trying it, so it's like experiment. You know, we're trying to experiment.
Yeah.
Hopefully it works out.
Everyone that has done this swap has used every module from the Challenger, from the body harness to the engine harness, everything from the Challenger, and just swapped it over. Obviously that would work, but we're trying to be different, one of one, and you know, kind of pave the way for everyone else that wants to do it.
Still haven't programmed the BCM. The only thing I did was I programmed the key to the radio frequency, but it's telling me everything. My BCM's reading the information from the PCM. The BCM is still reading all the information from our powertrain control module.
Master Tech from Dodge came out.
It's kind of complicated. 2 modules that don't exist anymore. We're trying this for the very first time. Everybody might be like, why is it so complicated? We're trying to use a charger, VIN, charger, PCM. Cross our fingers that it all works. It's never been done. This is a new experiment.
One of one, first in the world. A lot of people hate when I say, look. Press clutch pedal and start button. Oh my God, it's never said that before. It doesn't say vehicle not in park anymore. That's at least one step. We got one step closer. Hello, I'm Jensen. What's going on, guys? So this is episode 24 of building a manual Hellcat charger. In the last episode, we tried new modules, tried to program a new key to those modules, ended up not working. Programmed my BCM, reprogrammed it from a manual ZF 8-speed to the manual 6-speed, and it should start right up. But we got the old key right here, okay? Programmed to that BCM. Look. Press clutch pedal and start button. Oh my God, it's never said that before. Clutch pedal in. Neutral shake. Okay, we got, right now we're in reverse. Right now it's saying it's in reverse for some odd reason. No idea why. We got the new BCM. It says press in the clutch pedal for it to start. We just got to figure out how to take it out of reverse. That's another headache we got to figure out. Back at it again. What's up, brother?
What's going on, guys?
How we doing?
Pretty good. So basically, Keith went ahead and reconfigured the BCM, telling it basically the BCM's a gateway module that talks between the PCM and the radio frequency, right?
So those were all lit up red like error codes before.
Right. So you could see that Keith did a great job, because now we don't have a TCM or ESM. It's grayed out, right? Normally when it's grayed out, it means that the module is not there anymore. It doesn't exist. So as soon as I reconnect, I went into the PCM data and it's telling me it's looking for a clutch input. And I just went in there as soon as you got here to see, as soon as I pressed in the clutch, it's not showing it changing for pressed or not pressed. So now what I got to do is I need to go to make sure that our pins are correct in the PCM and that our wiring to the clutch cable or the clutch interlock sensor are in the right pins. Clutch switch interlock filtered in the PCM, so it's off, right? Press in, clutch off. It should switch.
Is killing itself?
Yeah, a little bit. We got some figuring out to do.
That might have something to do with the tune and holy shit, it started.
Low battery voltage. It starts. That's a good thing. And then
it starts.
Yeah.
It starts.
So now we got to figure out how to keep it running. At the RFH, it says ECM mismatch with skim. So that's why it's dying out. So my radio frequency has a mismatch with the skim key code. So that's why it's dying.
You guys saw the look on my face of just pure excitement and joy. It started up. So we're trying to figure out these last little bugs. So now we got a brand new radio frequency hub as well as a brand new key.
The original BCM, original PCM, got a new fresh key, and then in theory, it should stay running.
After that, the only other issue we have to figure out is the reverse issue. So when we turn the car on, it still thinks that it's in reverse for some reason. So it's sending power to the BCM at one pin that's telling it it's
yeah,
in
so
reverse.
basically I think it's like pin 23, pin 27 in the BCM. Those are just the aesthetics. We want to just have the car running and stay running. Once we get all that, have all the pieces back together, it gets tuned. Then we'll take it to my shop, and then we'll go and we'll figure that out. Yeah, I could cut the pin. You won't have a backup camera, but
for now,
right? You could, but it's just repinning it, and that's all we got to do. It wants to start.
Yeah, it does. She's alive, and she's running. Yeah. Fuck yeah, dude. Yeah. Yes! Yes! Oh my, with that aluminum flywheel? I'm so happy, dude. Oh my god. Wow. Huge shout out to Art and Keith. Without them, I don't know when this would have been finished, because there's a bunch of wiring and pinning and modules and reprogramming and shit that I would have never figured out. After a long 8 months, it is finally pickup day. Cannot wait. You ain't first or last, baby. This feels crazy. We're driving right now. Let's do a little downshift, huh? Damn. Oh my god. Oh my god! Woo! Yeah! 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 This thing feels insane. It feels faster than before, but I haven't driven it in a long time, so I don't know. Downshift a second.
This is the engine harness that was replaced, right, for the manual.
Yeah.
And it says pin 9, which this is pin 12. Pin 9 is right here, which is yellow with a violet tracer. Yellow violet wire. Pin 9, circuit T22, which is our brake lamp switch signal. So it's on the Challenger harness, but on the Charger harness it says no connect, so I have no wire The reason it's coming on is it's not grounding the switch. So it stays always on. Yeah. So it's supposed to, as soon as it's out of reverse, it's supposed to close. Right now it's in an open state, so it just thinks that it's in reverse at all times.
When we were finally finished, I was extremely happy to finally be driving this car. And since then, it's been drifting, a bunch of donuts, and a lot of that stuff. There's a couple more things we need to do, like the dual caliper setup for the handbrake. Need to do an angle kit and all that, but that's coming in the future. Make sure you subscribe for 2025. Once again, Happy New Year, and quick shout out to everyone that helped on this build. It was here at City Performance. We did all the fab work and cutting and all that stuff. And then Keith reprogrammed all of the modules to tell the car that it's a manual. And then Art came out, did a bunch of wiring and a lot of stuff. And then now it is tuned by Underground Tuning, so it has a whole new tune. It's crazy insane. So shout out to everyone that came together on this build. Mantic clutch for the triple disc clutch, Drive Shaft Pro for the drive shaft, and everyone else that I can't think of right now. Thank you very, very much. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned for 2025. It's gonna get crazy. Deuces.